course, it was part of the Laity Club was Florence District Laity Club, and the Scholarship Fund covered any student pastor within the Florence District. But when the districts were redone and we ended up with a much larger district, we didn't feel like the majority of people around the district that had a long way to travel would want to come to Laity Club in Florence or the Florence area. And at the same time, we didn't have enough funding to be able to support a program that would cover the entire district. So Jarvis Brewer worked on informing other people within the district, other churches, about what was going on, started an independent fund to support scholarships. So last summer, the Butler Scholarship Fund and what was at that time Northwest District Laity Club, or Scholarship Fund, were combined and became the Northwest District Butler Scholarship Fund.
As you can see, the ministry has continued to evolve over the years, but the purpose has remained the same. The name has changed, but the ministry has continued to grow, and it's a wonderful ministry. It has helped a lot of people over the years to go to school who are now United Methodist pastors, preachers in the North Alabama Conference.
I believe that we've probably helped somewhere, and this is since the early 1960s, probably somewhere on the order of 500 people, students, pastors, many of them in our conference today. And that help came in the form of close to a third to maybe $500,000 over that period of time. And this past year, we've given close to $25,000 out.
We had a circuit of 4 churches, and I think they paid $3,100, and it was just barely enough to live on. Surely wasn't enough to go to school on then, and I'd wondered, how in the world are we going to afford to go to school? And that's about the time the phone call came. I was standing I will never forget it, standing in my living room, telephone rang, I picked it up, and this voice said, "This is Oscar Butler." I didn't know him. And that's when he told me to go by and pick up my check, and I said, "What check?" What a shock that was. When I got through that telephone call and hung up, I told my wife about it. We just stood there and almost shouted. Just praise the Lord for an answer to prayer. We had wondered how we were going to school. That was the answer to my prayer. We were very happy.
I won't ever forget the day that Oscar called me and asked me to come by Rogers' department store and see him. And I went by there, and he handed me a check for $300, and I asked him what that was for, and he said, "This is to help you with your college expenses." Well, that $300 paid my tuition and bought my books. That will tell you something about the difference in the cost of college education now and then.
What we do is encourage the churches and Sunday school classes. In fact, our Sunday school class, we have a large Sunday school class at St. James, about 50 people in it, and they pay one scholarship a year, just our Sunday school class.
Northwest District this past year had over 10,000 people attending worship services on any given Sunday. If we had $3 given from each individual, just $3 per year, we could cover everything that we have done this past year, and probably go beyond that, because a lot of people will give more than $3. We've had some past supporters who have given thousands of dollars a year, and that has really gone a long way to keep it going. But we we get contributions from individuals, we get contributions from Sunday school classes, from men's clubs, and from churches. Last year we asked all of the churches to consider putting the Oscar Butler Scholarship Fund as a part of their budget, and that they give $3 per person based on their average attendance. So if you had 100 people attending church at a particular church, then we were asking them to budget for $300 for the year. If we can get that plus all the other giving that we are receiving, then hopefully in the future we'll be able to do a lot better than we're doing now.